Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Not Gonna Lie list of questions, where we answer anonymous questions on our Not Gonna Lie link, and we decided to just make it into a podcast. So we're gonna jump right into today's question. And so today's question is actually, it's not today's question, but this video's question was a question that we have held back for the longest time. We've had a few people asking this same question, right? And the question is, what are you doing in Perth? What are we doing in Perth, Vic?
Enjoying the blue sky, the green pastures, the cute little animals,
So we
and more.
So right now, right, our situation, maybe we backtrack to when we got married. Okay. So before,
I'll let him tell the story.
Before we got married, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Both of us were very happily running our own businesses, right? Dating, preparing to get married, saving money to get married, and then on a very fateful, special Easter this year, I actually got a phone call, right?
And I was
offered a job, basically,
job.
in Perth. Yeah. And so this job is a job that I personally do not feel adequate at that time to take on. And so there was a bit of a wrestle, but it was a very easy yes to say, because the job that was being offered, my future boss, who was offering me that job, is someone that I respect a lot, and I've known when I was in Bible school, who was my basically principal, teacher,
dean.
Yeah, I think he wasn't a dean. He was like the principal of the whole thing. I mean, he was like the owner of the whole Bible school. Yeah, an owner.
Founder
of the Bible school.
Anyway,
so I was offered the job. So we prayed about it, and we asked God, like, is this really where you want us to be? Because both of us were ready. I mean, we had our BTOs ready. We got our BTO. We saving money for our wedding, and we were like, we're going to stay in Singapore, and we almost we were considering, and we almost thought of getting an office space together. Yeah, we were considering but we didn't
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and so thankfully God kind of protected us from making those long-term commitments in Singapore. And so from May onwards, all the way till we got married, right, we had to actually all the way till now,
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
We had to keep this a secret because we didn't know what is the possibility of us actually moving to Perth to take on this job.
Wow. Actually, you answered this question, right? There's like the question about which church you're gonna go and all.
Yeah, all of it
all summed
will
up
be
in
answered.
this episode.
Okay long story short, right, I've been offered a job to help build an online church. And this church that is building this online church, it's called Faith Community Church in Perth, run by, led by Pastor Benny and his amazing team of Faith Community Church leaders. Yeah, and so personally, that was something that was exciting for me, because I know about this team. I've met a few of them. I've got to work a little bit with some of the media team people as well. And I got to go to the Bible school that is found in this church. So it was like a no-brainer, right, to say yes. But at the same time, it's like, why am I saying yes to a job that I don't even know I can do?
But this job,
yeah,
and what it entails,
yeah,
is actually what you have envisioned yourself doing in say 5 to 10 years time.
Yeah.
Right?
So the crazy
so
thing
it's like
is,
a dream job.
Exactly.
That got pushed forward.
Yeah. So it's crazy because when we were dating, right, you prophesied that over my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not about FCC per se, but you prophesied over my life about us, like, or even for me to be like really using my online gifts to build the church, you know. And so when she said that, I was like, impossible. Like it was like I don't believe it. But she see me as someone who can build a church.
Not
you know?
I see you. The
Yeah.
lens that God has given me to see you.
Exactly. So you see, this girl that I was dating, like God gave her this like gift to see me as someone who can help build a church, or an online church, you know. So I think I am flawed, you know, by God's grace for this opportunity to help build this church. And I think if this episode is aired, means that the next day, right, will be like officially actually going on board, which is this Sunday. Yeah.
As in you introduced
to the online space, like, or the online audience, or the online congregation in that sense, right? I'm like kind of officially brought in, lah, you know, or introduced. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
Do you know what this feels like?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we left Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Like we agreed that we didn't want it to be like a big massive farewell, because we just had our wedding, we went for honeymoon, then we came to Perth straight away. And we know like our dear friends and people who love us like wanted to send us off. But to us it's like it's just so much for our heart to take already. So we both agreed like let's just meet the relevant people to personally tell the journey to, and then farewell from there. So sitting here and talking to the camera, talking to each other, feels like those meetings that we go to. Like meeting our like relevant friends and families, giving the whole story update.
The whole spiel.
But of course more deeds in those personal conversations.
It's true. Yeah. So I think the preparation from then, from getting the news, getting the offer to now, right? I feel like it was a long wait, but it was a well needed wait for God to prepare me to step into the role. And the crazy thing is that there was so many divine appointments of meeting people, right, who had like words for us from God, who had interpretations from certain visions that we had when we were praying about this job, and people who even gave us insight to how an online church can run, and everyone was so like warm and amazing, giving us all this input, right? And it's really, I mean, we get to experience how God speaks to so many people, and through them guide us to take this role. So we're just so thankful. So if you guys are watching, like, thank you so much. You guys know who you are. And so right now Audris and I are now in Perth, in our house, our humble abode. This is our office room.
He just moved in. I mean, to like, it was initially my office space because I work from home. But then I'm like, why is my husband outside all the time? Right. So I kind of made him move inside. So my table is just there.
Just behind this camera right now. So as you can see, I don't have a window behind me. It's because the window side is Audris's office space, and then the other half of the room is like my office space, which is this. And so I guess we're going to start creating a lot more content here when we are in Perth. Partly because now we have our own space to shoot stuff, and actually we have a new desire to start creating content together, and also at the same time using our experience to share with whoever's watching our channel.
To keep connected.
And to keep connected with our friends.
We're away from home.
So we can just keep talking on this with this camera right in front of us, and then to keep connected with our family and friends as well.
So how different has life been, or what's the difference you feel for you?
So I have officially started work. So when I came here, I had COVID, and so I couldn't start the work on my first day. So I finally recovered, and now this is actually my first week officially working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I must say that I feel so grateful to be able to serve a church. Yeah. And I never knew that I had a desire to serve a church until now. And
Really?
like
You've always been serving,
I've been serving church as a volunteer,
but not
from the
like
outside,
a full-time
but
capacity.
not like a full-time like church person. Yeah, like it is different, I feel. Yeah, and I think ever since I got to know Jesus, I got to know the Holy Spirit. Like I feel like where I'm at now, right, is like my happiest place.
Yeah.
You know?
He very cute lah. He
Yeah.
come back from work and every day he's like, "Oh, so good today. Oh, it's a great day. How's
It
work? Ah,
is.
it's great." Like I can
Yeah.
really see the joy in his face when he comes home.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's like I must say it feels like I am very clearly, right, being able to build something that God has envisioned. It's not something that I envisioned, but it was something that God has put in the leaders' minds to create, and I get to play that role of being part of building this thing. Yeah, so I just feel like it's a joy to serve God in his house, you know. So yeah, and so what is it like for you being my wife, right, moving to Perth now? I mean, at least for now with our visas, we're going to be here for a little while. What is it like, coming to Perth?
I think there has been a lot of transition.
Yeah.
And people have been asking me what I plan to do here or what am I doing here. And my answer to that is I have no plans because we got married. That's a big transition. I left my day job.
Yeah.
That's a big transition.
Yeah.
We moved countries altogether. That's a big transition. And me
is.
being a very emotional person, having to process through all my feelings first, like I didn't like the last thing I wanted is to expect something of myself and to rush towards that goal and to be something or to do something. So my answer to that is to be a supportive wife. So
and you've been very good at it.
So that's my role here at the moment. There are opportunities out there, but we're just taking it one step at a time. So not wanting to rush into anything. So we've been here a while and I've just started we've just set up the home office, and when he went to work this week, that was really when I started to really find my own rhythm and routine. Because for like a few months, I've just been like all over the place, and like I cannot put a word or an emotion to what I've been feeling the past few months.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a question here, right? But it's okay if you don't have an answer yet. But for the benefit of those who follow PSL, right? What is the status of PSL now that you're in Perth?
PSL is active, so go shopping, guys. PSL is active.
Right. It's still running, right?
Yeah, it's still running. Of course, at a capacity where I am comfortable at this point because of
PSL is Paradigm Shift label, by the way. It's her clothing brand. For those who don't know lah.
Yeah. Thank you for the shout out. The move here has forced me to work out like the operations in a way where I can work remotely. So we are still running. We're still active. I really, just as a founder and just as a person, needed to take things easy and slow for the rest of the year, and hopefully in 2023, and then we can come out with new designs and collections.
And it's exciting.
It is.
And
now that the world has opened up again.
Who knows, right? We can even like visit a factory one day.
Yeah. I have been waiting
Yeah.
since pre-COVID.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, if you are looking to buy some ethically made clothes, head on to Paradigm Shift label. The brand is still active, so
Not that he's wearing
and
a
I'm wearing
sweater.
I'm wearing the sweater.
I'm not wearing a PSL. I'm
Yeah.
wearing a merch from my old company, which I love.
Yeah.
Which PSL runs on. So I used to work with Shopify.
Yeah.
And I got to know Shopify because Paradigm Shift runs on the Shopify platform.
Yeah.
And then got to be a staff there. Still love Shopify.
Yeah.
And so I bought the very comfy sweater.
Yeah, it looks very
which
comfy.
says entrepreneur.
It looks very comfy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess to round this whole conversation off is that yes, we are in Perth. Yes, we are trying to build a life in Perth. And yes, we are going to just take it one step at a time in faith. And we know that this is the path that God has called us to, but we don't know where is it going to end up. Are we going to build a family here? Are we going to start I don't know, getting pregnant and have kids here? I don't know. Honestly, we don't know. But I think the verse that comes to mind is about how, it's impossible to please God without faith.
Without faith, it's impossible.
Without
to please
faith,
God.
it's impossible to please God.
Mm.
And so I feel it just came to me now, right? And I feel like for us being here in Perth is a faith step, even though it sounds like, wow, you're going to a new country. I mean, who goes to a place to do missions in a first world country like Perth, Yeah, but somehow God has called us here to be an online missionary, right? Or to, I guess, use the online space to help the church grow. Through content, through production and all that. And so where it's gonna go, I have no idea. But who has called us into this, we know for sure. So
it's always exciting.
Please keep us in your prayers. Keep us in your prayers if you, following us on this journey. And yeah, feel free to ask us any other questions. You can throw a not gonna lie question, anonymous question in the description below, or even in the comments. Feel free to throw it there, and we will be so glad to answer whatever questions you guys have about us being in Perth. And we will try to answer all of them. So keep the questions coming, and I guess we'll see you guys at the next episode. Yeah. All right.
There's a question quite related to this, but I think we
we're
can
not
do
done
it.
yet. Okay.
No, I think we can do it for the next one, because this is probably a whole other thing about settling down.
Yeah.
And how's the feeling of moving overseas.
Yeah.
So we can probably talk about it in the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess we'll see you guys. Okay. Bye.